thank everybody that watches the vlogs, that watches the tech and toys videos. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel and playing along and leaving comments and following on Instagram and leaving comments there. And it's really awesome to get to know a lot of you guys and work with some of you, quite honestly. You know, last year when I decided I was going to start the YouTube channel, I had no clue what I was doing. I mean, cinematography's always been kind of a hobby of mine. I love cameras, and I've owned just about every camera you can imagine. But it's always been a hobby, and, you know, I've made my living and my reputation and my lifestyle on writing songs and producing records. And I've been so very fortunate in my career to have written #1 songs and produced #1 songs and records and produced records that have gone on to sell millions of copies, and that is such a blessing for me. And it's a blessing for my family as well. Last year, I started thinking about what can I do to give back. I started looking around on YouTube, and I found all the usual players giving all the usual advice. And quite honestly, 99.9% of it is bullshit. I've been in the music business for over 20 years. I have succeeded, I have failed, I have fallen flat on my face. I have failed many more times than I've succeeded. It's not all award shows and #1 parties and the glamorous side of what we tend to show on social media. It's hard and it's a struggle. I've worked with artists from the very beginning to watch them go and be successful. I've watched artists crash and fail. Some of the most talented artists that I've ever had the pleasure of working with, you've never heard of. And that wasn't necessarily a fault of their own. It's just sometimes the stars don't align. But I will say what I started thinking about last year was this useless head full of knowledge that I have on the music business. And thinking back on the times when I did see the artist succeed, what caused that? And then seeing the artists that failed and thinking, okay, what caused that failure? And I started to think, if I wanted to do a YouTube channel, what would I do? And I really have fallen in love and have this passion for working with independent artists and giving independent artists real advice. Not this glamorous, everything's great side that you see come out of Nashville and out of Los Angeles and the other people that I was watching their advice and seeing what they were saying. And it's just more of that industry line bullshit. Of things that don't work, of things that just get you to spend your money, to try to compete with either the major artist or other people that are on your level. And honestly, a lot of the times it just is like, the industry's like, let's see if we can get them to spin themselves out of the business so that they're not competition for us. And that's just not my philosophy in life. It's not my philosophy in business. So for the last couple of years, I started working with more independent artists and producing their records in the way that I would produce a major label record, giving them those tools. So when I was thinking about starting this channel, that's what I had in mind, was to be a real resource for true independent artists, songwriters, producers, recording studio owners, where you can learn and get knowledge firsthand from a failure, from somebody who has failed more than they've succeeded. And I've been down just about every road that you can go down in this business. Some of them have led to fame and success and a lot of money and the cool things and awards and all that. And some of them have ended in damn near losing everything that I've owned to go down that road. All of that experience, I feel like new artists need to know. You need to know the right things to do, the wrong things to do, the people to avoid, the people to associate with, There are a lot of avenues in this business that the industry wants you to go down that are not necessary for you to go down. You just end up wasting a lot of time. You end up wasting a lot of money. And most importantly, you do those things and it absolutely saps the passion straight from your soul. And all the time I see talented people come to Nashville and they leave Nashville with their hearts broken. They go to LA and they have big dreams only to not see those dreams fulfilled. I want to be a resource for you guys. And in 2018, I want to ramp things up even more. And there's something I'm going to tell you about, I'm so excited about in just a few minutes. But I just wanted to give you a little overview of me and what my purpose is for this channel. I have no illusions of grandeur. I'm not trying to become Casey Neistat or Pootie Pie or Logan Paul or any of these other people. And I'm not saying anything bad about them, but we're all creatives, but we're creative in a different environment, in a different business, in a different way. My goal is not to build this channel up and monetize it and make money from YouTube. That's not my goal. I make, not bragging, but I make plenty of money writing songs and producing records, and with my artist development company that I have. But with my artist development company, I only work with 2 or 3 artists at a time, because any more than that, and it's not fair to the artist, because I just don't have that much time. But I thought if I did this channel, that I could work with so many more of you, at least on a general level, and try to give you some advice and some tips on some of the things that I found useful in the business, but also a lot of things to avoid. So in 2018, I want to grow the channel, and I want to grow it exponentially. Some of the things that I'm going to start doing this year are different series. I'm going to bring in some of my buddies, some of my friends, the hit songwriters in Nashville and Los Angeles, and we're going to talk to you about songwriting. If you've got questions, they're probably going to answer them, but I want to have an open forum where you can ask real questions and get real answers. It's easy to do. It's, oh, you got to do that. I'm talking the reality of the music business and the situation of where we are in the music business today. I'm going to bring in producer friends of mine that have also had #1s and produced multi-platinum albums. I'm going to bring in artists that you've heard on the radio, that you know, that you've seen on TV, that we're going to sit right here in my studio and we're going to talk to you about the real music business. We're going to give you real tips. We're going to give you real things that you need to avoid, things that you need to be doing. Social media, talking about the different ways of promoting your music and distributing your music. You know, right now is the best time in history to be an independent artist. I know you're out there and you're thinking there's no way that it's so hard because it's such a large world. But I'm telling you, there's never been a better time in our history to be an independent artist. And here's why. What the major labels used to have over the independent artist were 2 major things. They had an absolute stronghold on radio. If you want it on the radio, even to this day, if you still want it on the radio, you've got to be on a major label. The second was distribution. And that is how your music gets out into the marketplace via retail stores like Target and Best Buy, everywhere you buy your music. But today it's exciting because guess what? Fewer and fewer people are listening to the radio today. So that eliminates that need from a major label standpoint. It was just surpassed last year that radio is no longer the #1 place where fans and people discover new music. It's not radio anymore. So that's gone. The distribution walls have been torn down. You can record a song with your acoustic guitar or your piano tonight, and via TuneCore or DistroKid or any one of the other digital distribution platforms, you can put that song out tonight and you can have it out there. So you no longer need the major label record deal to be discovered, to get your music out there. And you also don't need a major label for distribution, because digital music is still the #1 seller, and it will be. You just saw an article. If you haven't seen it, look it up on the web. Target and Best Buy both are going to stop selling CDs by the end of next year. So we're going 100% digital. And that means you, the independent artist, has just as much opportunity to have your music next to the major label artist. And it's just an amazing time. So this year, I want to impart my knowledge on you. I want to bring in my friends and my collaborators and heads of companies, heads of streaming Spotify playlist promoters. Matter of fact, the number one person that does this in the country. I'm going to sit down and talk with them and talk with you about Spotify playlist promotion. We're going to bring in a social media specialist to talk to you as an artist. What should you be doing? What are the do's and don'ts of each individual platform to help you grow your career? Because that is what this channel is all about. It's all about helping you. The last thing I just want to talk about real briefly, something I'm putting together right now, and I'm putting a lot of hard work into it. Like I said, last 5 years, as I was producing artists and writing with new artists for their albums and doing all that, it never failed that I would produce an artist and they would say, I've got my product, now I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do with it now. Do I go try to get a label deal? Do I try to be an independent artist? I have no idea what to do with this CD. And that CD ends up becoming a placemat or a coffee coaster. And so I started an artist development company. And through that company, I've been very successful at taking artists from their bedroom to the major stages. Just last year, I worked with an artist that when she first contacted me, she had put up a few videos on YouTube and nobody was watching them. And within a year, we went from that to her doing a single with Jacob Whitesides and putting the video out, shooting the video with Jacob. Stories like that of artists that I've been writing with and mentored and who now have singles on Sirius XM, on the highway, have been highway finds and now going out on major tours and videos on CMT. But through that, like I said, I only work with 2 to 3, maybe sometimes 4 artists at a time because it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of passion. And it takes a lot of energy. So I'm not one of these guys or one of these companies that's going to go, sign and work with as many artists as that can pay for the service. I don't believe in that. I don't think that the artist gets value from that. I don't get value from that. I have to sleep at some point. But I also want to make sure that the projects that I am taking on, that I believe in them 100% and have the time and the energy and the passion to take them where they want to go. So saying all that is leading me into this, which I'm really excited about. Because I can only work with so many artists at a time, I thought, what could I do? So here's what I'm going to do. In addition to all of the weekly vlogs that I'm going to try to put up, I'm developing a series called The Art of Artist Development. And it's going to be, I'm so far into it now with planning it all out and typing it all out and getting a production schedule together to film it. It's going to be a 2-part thing. It's going to be a video series that will live right here on this YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel. But there's also going to be a handbook that's going to go into a lot more detail than the videos will, just simply from a time perspective. And inside this art of artist development, we are going to talk about how you go through the steps and the important things of developing yourself as an artist. And basically what I'm going to do is show you exactly how, when I bring on an artist development client into my company, the steps that we take to develop them. And you can copy that and apply it to your career. And develop yourself, because major labels don't develop artists anymore. They are looking for artists that are ready to go. So if your goal is to get a major label record deal, we're going to show you how to do that. If your goal is to be a successful independent artist, which is always what I push people to, because when you're a successful independent artist, that means you keep the money, you keep the creative control, and you are in the driver's seat when it comes to your career, and there's nobody out there telling you what you can and what you can't do, and there's nobody trying to shove you in a box. So if you can't tell, that's my favorite. But regardless of which way you want to go, I want to try to help you get there this year. So coming in the next months, I'm going to start filming for this within the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be bringing in special guests that I think you're going to have fun hearing and listening to. And like I said, we're going to talk about Spotify. We're going to talk about radio promotion. We're going to talk about social media. We're going to talk about websites, what they should look like, what they shouldn't look like. How do you approach people? How do you network with people? Who should you be networking with? How do you get in contact with people and make people aware of who you are? And most importantly, how do you grow an engaged fan base? This is all going to be part of the art of artist development, and it's something that I'm looking forward to so much. So, no upbeat music with all this. This one today, I just more than anything wanted to sit down and share my heart with you. I wanted to tell you where I'm coming from, and who I am, and what I want for you, and what the purpose of this channel is. There's so many people out there right now trying to turn this into making a living off of this. And I never want you guys to feel like that. I'm not relying on you guys for my income and my lifestyle. I do that by writing songs and producing records. This channel, I want to be a resource for emerging artists, new songwriters, the creatives out there that are looking and wanting to know, how do I do this? It's so funny. I was doing a lot of research and looking up the search tags for music business and music industry. And there are so many of you out there that are starving for information. And matter of fact, I can tell by the number of people that are searching and looking for answers, you're not finding them anywhere. Or you're finding them and then you're doing what this person says to do, and you find out that that's a dead-end road. Or you get there and then you find out, oh, this cost $5,000. I don't have $5,000. This is an expensive business to be in. Let's just get that right out there. It's not cheap. It's hard. It's expensive. But what I want to try to do is there are some of those things that you should be doing and some of them that you shouldn't. And I don't want to see you waste your time. I don't want to see you waste your passion. And I don't want to see you waste your money. So at this channel here, you will always get real answers to real questions. There's nothing that I am ever worried about polishing over before I say, or watching my comments or thinking, oh, what's this person going to... I don't care. I don't give a fuck about any of that. My goal is to help you. And the only way you can move forward and the only way you can play the game successfully is to know the rules. And not the rules that we all put out there. I'm talking about the backdoor rules. The real rules of this business. And that's what I want this channel to be about. Again, thank you guys so much. Up to this point, it's been an experiment. I've not been uploading regularly. That's going to change this year. I've just been kind of testing the waters with topics and things like that. I am always interested to know what you guys think. I want to talk about and answer the questions that you guys have. So feel free to email me. My email address is in the description below. Send me an email on a topic you want to know more about. Every once in a while, I'll do a Q&A session where I'll collect those, and I'll just do a video, and I'll answer all of those questions for you. Any topic you want me to talk about, anything you want to see, I'm an open book. I'm more than willing to talk about my successes, and I'm willing to talk about my failures because I want you to learn from them. That's the most important thing to me. So thank you guys for coming along on this journey with me to where we are right now. I can tell you that where we are today and where this channel will be a year from now is amazing. I've got some amazing things planned and trips planned, and I'm going to start taking you guys in the studio while I'm producing records more. And as artists come over to write, I'm going to shoot some footage so you get to know some of these people and start engaging with them and interacting with them, and really try to get you guys on a different playing field than where you are right now and get you those real answers. So if it sounds like something you want to be a part of, if you haven't already, I ask you please just hit subscribe below. Subscribe to the channel. I can tell you it's going to be a fun ride, and I want you to go along with us. There's a little bell next to the subscription button. Click that so that every time I upload a video to the channel, you get notified that there's something new. And I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Please, I want this to be user-based content. You have a question, you email me or put it in the comments below. I'll do a video and I'll answer it. You want to know about the cost of things, or how do I do this? How do I do that? That's what this channel is going to be about. So guys, thank you so much for letting me take up your time with this video. Like I said, this is just something that I wanted to do. It's a new year. I've got really big plans for the channel, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about it and let you know what's coming up. So as we get the ball rolling, keep watching the videos, keep making the comments. Don't forget you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at @TheSteveFreeman. Although I got to be honest with you, I really kind of fucking hate Facebook and Twitter. It's just so political now that you can't post anything. I can't even get on there and read something, or I get pissed off myself. So I use Instagram more than anything. I think it's a great platform. It's growing, and especially for artists. It's a really growing platform. So I'm on there most of the time. But it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at The Steve Freeman, and all those links are below as well. Thank you so much for the time, and I look forward to visiting with you this year about some awesome opportunities and helping you guys with the art of artist development and so much more. Again, thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you soon.